Let's see, weather gadgets for 100. A psychrometer measures the...
Matt, what you doing?
Oh, I'm preparing for the new and improved Weather and Water Jeopardy. It's for high school students, and it's going to film this spring.
That's pretty cool. I guess. Do you need any help? I guess I could question you.
Yeah, you know, that would be great.
Okay.
But first, let's say hello to everyone.
Good idea. I'm Scott Trout.
And I'm Matt. And we're from
Pooter High School. All right. Today, while some of us are practicing for Jeopardy, mostly we're here to recap our local weather and water conditions for the month of January 2010.
Every month, our objective is to report on things like precipitation, stream flow in the Pooter River, and water storage in Horsetooth Reservoir. The weather that it happens in our own backyard.
Which leads us to practicing for Jeopardy?
Yeah?
Oh. Okay, well, let's practice. Let's get to it. For 100 points, Matt, what will be the weather tomorrow?
Okay, hang on just a second. Weather.com.
Matt, what are you doing? You can't... Laptop? No outside resources. You can't do that.
Oh.
That's cheating. Yeah,
Oh.
we're gonna have to put that away.
Okay, fine. Oh,
Look,
man.
I'll make it easy for you, though.
Okay.
We'll make it a multiple guess question. Will
Okay.
it be warmer, cooler, or the same as today?
Well, if those are my only three options, then, let's see, I'd have to go with the odds and say that the answer in the form of a question is...
Yeah?
What is the same as today?
Wow, took you a long time because weather usually doesn't change every single day. Okay, another Jeopardy question.
Okay.
What is the reason weather doesn't usually change every day?
What is being under one common glob of air?
How about you explain it a little better than that? Just explain it.
Okay, that's a lot easier, thanks. If we are under one of those big globs of air, the temperature and moisture characteristics are going to be about the same throughout. And so, the weather will be about the same, and one day will be similar to the next until the glob moves away from us and gets replaced by another one.
Nice job, but let's be a little more descriptive about the globs of air, as you call them.
Okay.
So, for 200 points, the term for a glob of air in meteorology.
What are air masses?
Perfect. And for 300 points, the size of an air mass.
What is many square miles?
Nice. Not.
Oh.
You know,
What?
that is incorrect. The answer is really hundreds, or we would have accepted thousands of square miles. That means they're really big.
Okay, but I do know that they're always moving around the planet with the seasons and the winds at about 20 to 30 miles an hour.
So it can take several days for an air mass to come and go.
Right, that's why you can have a pretty good idea that your forecast is going to be right if you are in one of those air masses because the weather is going to be about the same throughout.
But because of the mountains here, the air masses have some natural barriers that they sometimes have to go up and around, and sometimes they just get stuck. You know, weather happens.
That's true, and it's probably why you hear the saying, if you don't like the weather in Colorado, stick around for 10 minutes, it will change.
You know, actually, Matt, I've heard that in about every single state I've ever been in, so...
Really?
Yeah, good try.
Oh.
Anyways, let's keep going. The next question is, this occurs when one air mass meets with another.
What is bad weather?
Nice. So true, no matter what.
Whenever two air masses meet, they don't just blend into each other. Each air mass has a different density, which is kind of like oil and water, with the lighter air always rising above the colder air.
I've got a perfect demo for that. You see, just like the blue water mixing with oil, there's a little battle while the two try to figure it out, and the lighter substance always ends up floating above the heavier substance.
The cold air mass is like the water, and the warm air mass is like the oil. And cold air is heavy and sinks to the bottom.
And the warm air is lighter and floats up to the top and over the cold air. And as it floats, it forms into clouds, which rain or snow.
And that's why it's usually bad weather when one air mass meets up with another.
That's exactly what happened to us this past January. You remember when all those cold Arctic air came and moved into our area from the north?
Yeah, an entire day of snow.
Right. So here's one. Were we left with warmer or colder air?
What is really cold air?
You're right, and blue skies. The weather usually clears quickly after one air mass winds out. Okay, here's one. The leading edge of a cold air mass is referred to as this.
What is a cold front?
Yeah, the leading edge of the air mass is called the front, just like in the military. Did you know that meteorologists adopted the word front from the military?
Really? Why is that?
It's where the fighting is going on.
Oh, so if you were to draw a line between the fighting, it would separate the cold and the warm fronts.
The two opponents in a battle.
And the front is the leading edge of an advancing army, or the front line. When a front comes through, it overtakes the air mass that was there first, replacing it, winning the battle.
So, when it gets cooler, a cold front is advancing, and when it gets warmer, a warm front is advancing.
That's right, and the cold air combined with all that snow we had in December made the snow and ice hang around for weeks.
Yeah, my car almost got eaten up by one of those icy potholes in the street. I couldn't see how deep it was until I was really stuck in one.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, it's about time we looked at our graphs for the month of January.
Oh, okay. Let's look at snow first. We'll start with the snow that fell in Fort Collins. Check this out. We typically get about 8 inches of snow in Fort Collins in January. This January, we may have had lots of cold, but only 3.3 inches of snow.
So, I suppose our total precipitation numbers, meaning rain and the water content of snow, are going to be down as well.
You guessed it. On average, we get about 0.42 inches of precipitation in January. This year, we received 0.12 inches. Now this is dry, but not at all unusual for this time of year.
Okay, so what about mountain snow? Let's look at our snow-tell station at Joe Wright Reservoir, high up on the Poudre Canyon.
The smooth blue line shows monthly averages for the past 30 years. And remember, instead of snow, it tracks snow water equivalent, which is the water content of the snow.
This red line is the amount of snow water equivalent that has fallen at Joe Wright Reservoir so far this water year.
Not climbing as high as we'd like it.
But I think they have been getting some snow recently, so we'll check back with them in next month.
This brings us to a connection between our overall precipitation and stream flow, but not much to report on now. In fact, there is no new data since the end of November because the gauges and much of the water is frozen.
Let's show our hydrograph of the Poudre anyway. Our average flow in blue and our current available data shown in red. As you can see, we're at base flow conditions right now until the snow starts to melt, creating the spring runoff.
Yeah, stream flows don't change much here through the winter while things are frozen, but that will start to change in March, April, and May.
So what's left?
Oh, well, we need to take a look at the water that comes to us from the western slope, the Colorado River watershed, and stored for us at Horsetooth.
Last month, we reported water managers have started to fill Horsetooth, and we had gained 3 feet of water elevation, as you can see right here. But that didn't seem like much for this time of year when they should be actively filling it, so I checked into it. It turns out that they took advantage of the low levels from the fall to do some improvements along the shore. Starting in December, they extended the swim beach. You know what I mean? So you can look forward to that this summer. But now that the work is complete, they're sending water in again.
Horsetooth is on its way.
Yep, and you're right. Our show this month is a good review for Jeopardy.
Air mass can be defined as globs of air with similar characteristics of temperature and moisture. A front is the leading edge between the two air masses.
Okay, Matt, you've got the 2 key concepts for this month's water report: air masses and fronts. You know your stuff.
I know.
Good report. We'll see everyone in a month for a recap of our water conditions for the month of February 2010.
See ya!